Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing more unit reviews. I'm sure you guys are familiar with this series by now. Essentially, this is the series where you guys send me your best Genshin Impact units and I rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 so we can determine who has the best units in Genshin Impact. If you would like to submit a unit for yourself, it's very simple. All you have to do is go to my Discord. The link to that will be in the description below. Once you're in there, you're going to go to the unit review channel. And then all you have to do in that channel is post your UID, your server, your name, and the character you would like me to review. So if you like the opportunity to get your own character reviewed, make sure to click the link in the description. But with that all being said, let's get into today's video. Our first character here comes from Maddie, who claims to have a C6 Kaeya. Now, according to them, I have already reviewed this Kaeya before. I don't particularly remember it, but I do know I haven't reviewed a Kaeya with the new skin yet. And I'm going to say this skin, kind of clean. I didn't get it, but I do kind of like it. Anyways, let's take a look at this Kaeya. We have a Primordial Jade Cutter. Interesting. You're going to be running the 2-piece Blizzard Strayer, 2-piece Noblesse. Very good choices there. And then you have C6. You weren't lying. That is actually super impressive. And to be honest, that definitely seems like a whale thing because getting C6 standard 5-star is usually really hard. Are you a whale? I'm curious now. Let's see your Raiden. C1 Raiden. C0 Riosli. C0 Kazuha. So no, you're not even really a whale. You just got super lucky. That's interesting. Talents are, oh my goodness, we got the triple crown. Okay, say less. I appreciate the triple crown. The dedication is there. You have the option of going physical Kaeya or even like infusing him with Chongyun and going cryo Kaeya. Could be a fun build too, but I imagine you're mainly using the scale and the burst. So let's see what we're rocking with the artifacts now. We got a lot to look at here. So the mask is going to be crit damage. Ooh, this is really nice. Unfortunately, you did roll one time into flat HP. Other than that, though, really solid piece. The flower. Oh my goodness. Wait, what the heck is this? Wait, I got to open up the calculator. 14.4 times 2 equals 28.8 plus 21. Oh, you are just shy of 50 CV. That's still a nutty piece, but it's also kind of sad. Oh, you're so close, just not quite there. The feather, another really damn good piece. Unfortunately, you got some min crit rate rolls, but other than that, that piece is pretty insane. Goblet is also really insane. That is 4 crit rate and damage rolls. Unfortunately, you got some flat stats, but other than that, pretty insane piece. Then last, the Sands is probably the worst piece of the bunch, to be completely honest. It has some low crit damage rolls and a crit rate and then 2 dead stats in the middle. So I definitely say that's the worst piece of the bunch. But other than that, almost all these pieces are at least 40 CV, of course, besides the hat. So this is a pretty insane build. Let's see the split. You got 100% crit rate. Respect. With Kaeya, you do have the option of running Blizzard Strayer and sacrificing some crit rate. But hey, if you have 99%, do you really need anything else? You got 199 crit damage. I like how you're just 1% off 100, 200. You got 137 recharge. I think that's decent for Kaeya depending on how many cryo supports you're running him with. You got 1.5k attack. That's pretty decent and not too much EM, but that's perfectly okay. For a DPS Kaeya, I'd say this is a really, really strong build and also very unique. To be honest, getting C6 Kaeya is such a flex that I have to give you like at least a 9.7 out of 10. That being said though, let's move on to our next build. All right, on to the next character. Next one we got here comes from Noah without the H, who claims they have a top 2% Furina. So let's see here. We got 34k HP, 1.2k attack. I imagine, yep, we are running Splendor of the Tranquil Waters. That is her best in slot. Not much more to say there. Talents are going to be 5, 10, 10. Yep, perfect talents. Artifacts, you got the 4-piece Golden Troop, her best in slot. And constellations, we got the C1. Kind of sad I'm not seeing the C2 considering it's probably the best constellation in the game, but that is perfectly all right. Let's see what pieces we are working with here. Golden Troop, we got, oh my god. Why can't I get pieces like this, man? Feather, Oh my goodness, what the heck is this? Another like near perfect piece. If you didn't roll attack percent and you got HP instead, that would be like the perfect piece. Oh my gosh, the hat. Holy crap. What is this? 42% and HP on top of that. This is the nastiest hat I may have ever seen in my life. This thing has more CV than I do on my feathers or my flowers. That is absolutely nuts. This kind of fell off a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. You got no crit rate on there, but you do have some HP and crit damage, so it's decent, we'll say that. You do, of course, with Furina, you can run HP Goblet. You don't have to run Hydro damage bonus. It is an option for her, but I think she does strongly prefer HP percent, just for some of her talents. So if you do have a good HP percent Goblet, I actually do strongly recommend using that instead of Hydro damage bonus, but it's not a bad alternative. Last, the Sands. It's HP percent. That's interesting. I feel like we might struggle with recharge here. How much do we have? 105. Yeah, that may be a problem. By the way, I don't mean to like scroll over those crit stats. That is insane. That is absolutely nutty. 84 245. That is out of this world crit rate, crit damage ratio. But I feel like we are going to struggle with recharge. I know that this weapon does help with it a little bit, but I don't think it's enough to justify running only 105. But that being said, this is still a pretty insane build. Obviously standing out because of some of the more insane pieces like this hat here. So I have to at least give it a solid 9 out of 10. Let's move on to the next build. Next up here, we have a submission from Orange, who claims to be a Mika main. I don't think I've ever seen this in my life. People play this character. I didn't even know you could main him. Okay, we got a Crescent Pike. Oh no. Artifacts. Oh no. Constellation 1. Oh, not even C6. Cringe. Except I don't think C6 would probably help with physical Mika anyways. Although I don't know. Maybe it would. And talents are, of course, 10, 10, 10. How can you not 10, 10, 10 your physical Mika? You know what? I respect it. I really respect people who use physical builds on characters who aren't meant to be physical builds. It's just fun. And Genshin Impact is a pretty easy game, so builds like these are actually somewhat viable in like 99% of the content, besides like floor 12 of the Spiral Abyss. But like anywhere else, this is like a completely viable build. So let's see here. The Sands, pretty good. EM is probably unnecessary on a physical character, but other than that, you got some good stats. Goblet, pretty decent. Hat. Oh my god, that's insane. Bro, what's with all the good hats today? Again, this is another hat that is nearly 40 CV and is probably better than every single piece I have on my account. Anyways, flower, screw you. Feather, screw you ×2. I mean, these are insane pieces. We got 1.6k attack. Follow that up with 64 177 crit damage. It doesn't look like an insane ratio, but you have to keep in mind, Mika does not scale with any crit stats, and he doesn't have a crit rate or damage weapon. So having this ratio with this weapon and these artifacts is actually really insane. No recharge, not a point of recharge on the entire build. I mean, I guess you won't be getting up your burst or your skill, which actually would probably help physical Mika, especially the skill. So you may want a little bit of recharge, but you know what? Physical Mika, he may not need it. Also, you have 117 physical damage. I mean, I'd be actually really interested to see how much damage this Mika does. It's a very good physical build. The only improvements I could really see would be maybe getting a 2-piece Bloodstain or a 4-piece Pale Flame. You can't really get better crit stats than what you have. So I'd say this is about as close as you can get to the most optimal physical build without actually being the most optimal physical build. So we'll give you like a 9.8 out of 10. Anyways, let's move on to the next character. All right, next build here we have from Heko? I'm not exactly sure. Sorry if I mispronounced the name. But they want me to review their Kaveh. Level 90 Kaveh. Now, this is a character I don't frequently play, so I can't really claim to be a Kaveh expert, but I do know that he's a Dendro character and a Dendro support. So usually you want to see a lot of EM on characters like Kaveh. So I'm interested to see why we only have 115 here. What's our weapon? Oh. Never mind then. I don't think I have to worry about EM because it looks like, from what I'm seeing here, we're going to see another DPS build. Artifacts, 2-piece Vermilion, 2-piece Deep-Wooded. Okay. Constellation is C4, and the talents are 10, 10, 10. So this is not your typical EM Kaveh. This is a DPS Kaveh. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Let's see what artifacts we're working here. The feather, pretty nutty. Not the best piece I've ever seen, but it's definitely good. The flower, that's an insane piece. That's nuts. That's 46 CV right there. That is broken. The hat, it's okay. You got 26 CV and a little bit of recharge. The goblet, oh my god, you got that in set? What the hell is with these artifacts today? You guys are blowing my mind today. I'll tell you what, this is a piece I would die for. And the sands, what the heck is this? Oh my gosh. How do people have these pieces? This right here, this is insane. I mean, besides maybe like the feather, even that one's like 40 CV almost. Oh my gosh, what's your split? Jesus, 85, 203, and he definitely does not ascend with crit stats. 110 recharge, which may again be a little bit low for Kaveh. I don't know exactly what his burst cost is because I don't really play Kaveh all that much, but I'll tell you what, this build is really cool. That being said, I don't know how well Verdict works for him because the Verdict works around obtaining elemental shards from crystallized reactions, and unless you're running Kaveh with like Zhongli or Albedo, the passive won't help all that much. I think if you are building a DPS Kaveh, I think the better alternative would be something like Wolf's Gravestone or one of those other DPS claymores. But Verdict, I mean, it still has a high base attack and a crit rate substat, so it's not a bad weapon. You have like probably the most insane artifacts I've ever seen in my entire life. I think I still have to give you at least, and this is hard to say because these artifacts are really damn good, but they aren't perfect. So we're going to give you a 9.9 out of 10. Let's move on to another build. Next up here, we have Reload Set, who wants to show off their future #1 Thoma. Not current #1 Thoma. Yeah, they're working on it. So I imagine we're seeing another DPS build. We got a lot of unique builds today. We got a Staff of the Scarlet Sands Thoma. My goodness. Another DPS build. Oh, we're missing a piece. We'll ignore that. I imagine you might have just have it unequipped on another character potentially, or maybe you're just working on getting the piece. We won't let that affect our rating for right now. We got Constellation 6. I respect it. And talents, of course, we got to have that 10, 10, 10. I appreciate it. Another DPS build, main DPS Thoma. Don't know how viable it is, but anyways, let's see what artifacts you got here. You got a pretty decent hat. Not the best I've ever seen compared to everything else today, but it's still good. The flower, that's what the heck? I'm so sick of seeing good artifacts today. I'm actually just bored of good artifacts at this point. This is insane. Okay. Feather, bro. No, you do not have these pieces. You do not have these pieces. This is perfect. This is double perfect. The sands is also insane. EM sands, that makes sense, I think, for Thoma if you're running him with Vaporize and with like Zinc Cho and maybe Yelan. But you seem to have like this really unique Thoma build that fuses EM along with your basic DPS stats. That probably makes for some sort of, I imagine, Vapo Thoma or possibly Melt Thoma, Burgeon Thoma. I mean, there's a lot of different things you could do with this. A very unique build. Unfortunately, we are missing a goblet, so these stats will be a little bit off. 91 to 179 is still pretty good. With a goblet, you could probably get that up to 100, 200. So you know what? We will give you the benefit of the doubt and call it 100, 200. You got 125 recharge, which I think is good enough for Thoma. And then not as much pyro damage bonus as you maybe should have because you are missing a goblet. But that being said, this feather and flower, just that combination alone, I mean, these are about 10 out of 10 pieces. You cannot get better than this. So yeah, this is essentially perfect. I mean, there are a couple little optimizations you can make, but I really like the uniqueness of this build. So we are going to give this a solid 9.8 out of 10. Let's move on to the next build. All right, and our last build for the day comes from Yunjin, and they want to give me their Rosaria. Interesting. I really like this character. She's one of my favorite characters in the game, even though I don't get to use her very often. I see her using the OG skin. I appreciate it. Although I honestly do kind of like her reskin just a little bit better. But that being said, doesn't really matter. Your weapon? Okay. You really like your Rosaria. Say less. Artifacts? Okay. Another DPS build. Hey man, I'm all here for it. We've been doing 4-star DPS builds all day. And I'll tell you what, every single build has been getting better. Let's see if this one can capitalize. We got C6, I respect it. And talents, again, we're doing the triple crown again. Respect. Let's see some of these artifacts. I'm not gonna lie, we've seen a lot of good artifacts today. Way too many. I'm kind of honestly hoping we see some bad ones, because I'm starting to lose my sanity here. The goblet, that's good. It's not insane, but it's good. The hat, solid. Again, another just solid piece. You got EM, crit damage, attack, nothing insane, but it does the job. The flower, that's insane. Yeah, that's insane. That's broken. You have basically the perfect Rosaria flower. If you're running her in a melt comp, this EM really does help out a lot. So yeah, I really like this piece. The feather, this one could use some improvement. I mean, oh wait, no. Oh no, I'm an idiot. I read the crit rate and damage backwards. Oh, oops. No, okay, no, that piece is really good actually. 14 crit rate. That looks like it should be the other way around though. No, that's actually a really good piece. Maybe could use some EM or attack percent on there. Other than that though, good piece. And lastly, the sands. Yeah, another solid piece. Not as insane as some of the pieces we've seen today, but I'll tell you what, these are still really, really solid pieces, and there's nothing really to laugh at here. It's just a very good DPS Rosaria. This Rosaria is very, very versatile because you only have her on two pieces. You can basically run her in like whatever comp you want with whatever characters you want. I really like this build. You got 1500 attack, 282 EM, 81 to 200, 115 recharge. Possibly could use a little more recharge, but if you're running her with other cryo supports, it can be okay. I'd say overall, this is just a very, very good utilization of Rosaria, and is honestly just a very unique Rosaria build that I think uses her talents to her best potential. So with that all being said, I think we're going to give you a very, very solid 9.5 out of 10. Anyways, guys, that is going to be all for our video today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed some of these insane artifact builds. And don't forget, if you want to submit your own builds, make sure to go down, join my Discord, and hopefully I can see some of your guys' insane builds. But with that all being said, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I'm going to see you all in the next one. Peace.